as a company, you are currently focusing on the wrong customers to grow your profits. But my purpose today is to show you the strategies that I use with my own customers so that they can transition from linear growth to exponential growth. I love plants and flowers, and they have taught me a lot about what it takes to grow. What is it that maximizes growth? I used to think that by pouring water over and over again on the plant, it would make it grow, as you can see on the beautiful picture. But I was totally wrong. As I was frustrated, I decided one day to go and see an expert so that he could actually explain me why by watering the plants over and over again, they were not at their optimal growth. And that's when he explained me a fundamental principle related to growth. He told me that growth is not observed when you put in a maximum input into the plant, but it is observed when you look at the roots of the plant. It's all related to how much the roots are able to absorb the nutrients so that they can produce optimal growth. Why am I talking to you about this? Because it actually relates to how business works. It's not about how many customer acquisition marketing plans you're going to put into the company that are going to make your bottom line and profitability grow. It's all about the roots, and the roots of your business are your existing customers. Many companies tend to forget how important it is to focus not only on acquiring new customers, but also on taking care of the ones which exist. Your existing customers already know you. They already love you. They already trust you. So it does make sense to amplify and to leverage the profitability and the growth of your company by focusing on them. It's all about customer retention. Just imagine a few seconds with me. Your company, your existing customers. If each customer could be a sort of influencer agent within their friends, their family, their surroundings, and bringing in your company just one single person, how much would that affect your profitability and growth? You know, many tend to forget that it actually takes 7 times more effort to bring in new people into the company than to actually sell to the existing people. So why aren't companies focusing on customer retention? A few months ago, I met Barney Waters, who is actually the president of K-Swiss. K-Swiss is a company related to athletic footwear, and they are promoting, for example, work with Gary Vee at the moment to create a specific shoe line for entrepreneurs. And when I met him at a business conference, he really focused on the fact that he emphasized on the fact that the success of marketing today is no longer related to how many leads you're getting, what is the traffic, but it's related to how many customers you're actually keeping in your business. Interesting facts from a study which has been done by Bain & Company and the Harvard Business School a few years ago has shown that just by increasing by 5% your customer retention rate, you can increase your profitability up to 95%. Now, I'm not just throwing statistics to you here. These are things just to show you that it can exist. You can be part of these statistics. And I have seen it firsthand with my own clients when I have observed an increase of profitability up to 83%. Now, what does it take? What are the actions that you need to put in place to have such results? I'm going to talk to you about this ultimate strategy that I call the BBB strategy for A+ client retention. It consists in 3 layers: be ambassador, be experienced, and be exclusive. Before I go into the different definitions of the layers, I think it's an important thing to understand what does the B mean. The B relates to two different items. First item, B as a brand. What you want people to perceive you, the perception, the image, the wants of the company. First thing, the wants. The second thing of the B is related to the verb to be. It is basically the reality of what your company puts out there. The wants and the reality, when they come together and they match, creates an alignment which is very purposely important for customer retention to be optimal. Now, these are the three different layers of this principle. And the three different layers, as you're going to implement strategies regarding them, you will see that they will start kind of mixing together and impacting each other. But the real magic happens, I believe, just at this spot, when the three layers start to meet. That's when optimal customer retention is there. When the ambassador experience and exclusivity layers are common and come together. Now, about the brand ambassador part, I always tell my clients the best way to sell yourself is not to say anything. It's to let other people talk. Now, then you decide whether you want people to talk positively or not about your brand. When people talk about your brand, you're able to decide whether it will be positive or not. But then, you need to understand a specific context. When it's positive, 2 people will talk about it. When it's negative, it's times 5. Everybody wants to talk about negative facts. So you have a responsibility as a brand to make sure that you create these brand ambassadors who are so happy to work with you that they're going to talk about it to everybody. Otherwise, you will just rely on these 2 people, and that's just not enough to make your company grow. So you're responsible of that. But it's not just about the employees and the customers, it's also about making sure that the back office in your company, end-to-end with all the departments which are creating that chain of value, are also aligned on being the ambassadors of your company. That's about the first layer related to brand ambassadors. When you have optimal brand ambassadors and advocacy, you are in the right track to create optimal customer retention. The second thing is about B experience. Now, I will not tell you what customer experience is. You know it well because you know how important it is for business. But I want to highlight one thing: the renewal and the reinvention of the experience. We live in a world where customers, products and services tend to confuse customers because they look very much alike. So it is your duty, it is your role to make sure that somehow you stand out from the crowd by focusing on reinventing the experience, by focusing on adapting the experience to how your customers really live, adapting the experience to what the market needs, and each time reinventing. Otherwise, the customers will confuse you with other brands. That's how you also retain your customers, by focusing on the B experience part. The last focus is the B exclusive. Now here we're going to touch to the emotions of the human being. Human being loves to be part of something which is exceptional. He loves to be somehow, have that feeling that he has been chosen specifically among a lot of people to be part of something which is unique. In your company, are you making your customers unique somehow? Are you creating that sensitivity, that sense of exclusivity in such a way that they are so proud of working with you that they don't want to go somewhere else? Exclusivity sells. How much exclusive are your deals? Now, these are the 3 different layers which I believe, when put commonly together, are going to increase your customer retention rate. Whatever you do, just think of it as you need to maximize the activities that you do by leveraging the existence of your customers who are there in your business today, rather than focusing on spending lots and tons of money only on attracting and acquiring new customers. The new marketing game has changed. It's no longer about acquiring new customers, but it's more about how many customers you keep in your business. My question to you now is, what is your customer retention strategy? I'm Stella Bida. Thank you very much.